Hi, my name is Brooklyn. I'm a second-year student in the audiology program here at the University of Nebraska. I am from Casper, Wyoming, and so very new to Nebraska. I went to the University of Northern Colorado, which is in Greeley, Colorado. I actually went into my undergrad program thinking I wanted to do speech-language pathology, which I hated immediately. And so I was so concerned that I was going to have to switch my major, but we're required to take one audiology class in an SLP undergrad. And it clicked immediately. And I was like, this is definitely what I've been looking for. And so I didn't have to change my major, and I actually found something I really enjoyed. I am not a very creative person whatsoever. I didn't like having to make lesson plans or honestly be, again, super upbeat all the time and creative in my sessions. And audiology was just a lot more, for lack of a better word, black and white. And it's like putting together a puzzle. And so I liked those topics a lot more, but I still got to interact with diverse patient populations and so make an impact on my patients' lives just in a different way. And so I thought it brought both components that I was looking for to the table. So my best friend in undergrad told me one day that she was applying to the speech program at the University of Nebraska. And my exact words were, who would ever want to live in Nebraska? And she encouraged me over a couple of weeks to keep looking at it. And so I went to their website and was super impressed by just the format and the information that they had on their website. And one of the professors here actually was like an adjunct professor at Northern Colorado. And so I spoke to her, had a great experience and interaction with her. And so I came out here and I visited, and just seeing this clinic and just the atmosphere at UNL and just how the town seems to support the school so much and everyone just is ride or die for Big Red. It was a no-brainer. I chose and committed right after that. Again, I really like the atmosphere at Nebraska. I think everyone's super not only supportive of the sports, but just students in general here. Every time I'm out in the community, someone's always asking me if I go to UNL, what I'm doing. And then just seeing the great patients that we have here, not only from Lincoln, but just like rural Nebraska in general, I really enjoy that too. And so getting that sense of community, both in school and outside of school, has been amazing. And just how incredible the program in general is. It's a tough program, but I feel as though I am so much better of a clinician for it. So, yeah. So part of the audiology curriculum requirement is to do kind of a research paper or a research study, and it's called the Audiology Capstone. And so they kind of throw first years into it. They'll give you a list. They tell you you can do anything you want, but they provide a list of current projects that someone in the department's working on, or maybe a project that a current third-year student is doing that you could take over. And so I saw that one of the third-year students had started the implant support group, and they didn't really have like a necessary direction. They were just kind of studying what impact the CI support group could have on members. And so I saw an opportunity to kind of refine that focus. I really like oral rehabilitation, which is teaching someone how to utilize auditory as their main stimulus modality and how to make some connections to sounds in your environment. It can be really hard for someone who hasn't heard in a long time when you put a CI on them to be back in a world where they can hear. And so I've always really enjoyed that. So again, I saw that project as an opportunity to kind of implement that and do some oral rehabilitation with the group and to see if that can help improve any cochlear implant outcomes within that support group. I just think one of the less advertised, or I should say the less spoken about aspects of hearing loss is social isolation. It can be really difficult, especially for someone that has heard their whole lives and now is experiencing hearing loss, to come to terms with that and to be able to process that within their daily lives. And just a lot of the patients we've seen, it's just very sad, and it is very close to my heart to watch these individuals become isolated, not want to be involved in as many hobbies as they used to, or not be able to connect with their family. And they can feel so alone in that process. And so I think one of the big goals or centers of this support group, for me at least, is these people can talk to people who understand exactly what it is like to go through what they are going through, and even offer tips, or just get, having someone listen to you half the time is just the biggest to help you overcome something. And so I think that's what I really want to get at this center, is just giving people, again, a sense of community and knowing that they're not alone and there are other people going through this, and just how to cope with that sometimes. My research will focus on older adults, but the group will service any cochlear implant recipient, family member, or student that is interested. I've just been really focusing on advertising our group and trying to recruit as many people as possible, and then just planning all of our meetings and planning what kind of activities I want to do, what kind of discussions I want to bring to the group. I really, again, want to focus on not only connection, but that oral rehabilitation. And so since I didn't choose to be an SLP, we've brought in a speech-language pathologist who specializes in oral rehabilitation. And she's been really helping me gear some of our activities and meetings towards oral rehabilitation in a good generalization way. We meet once a month. As of right now, we are scheduled for every second Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. and here in the Barclay Center in this academy space. So that is part of why I've been making like these social media accounts. I also created just like an email that is meant to be used with the support group in general, because I will be recruiting a first year in the future to take over this project. And I think there's so many different research questions you can do with the group. And I think setting these up and making it easily transferable, even if it wasn't a student that was necessarily doing research with the group, it would be my hope that someone would easily be able to take it over and continue what we're doing here. And so that is definitely one of my goals, is to make it easy to continue the group, not for it to be a big burden on someone in the future that would maybe want to take it over, and to kind of create that organizational structure in order for it to be taken over in the future. Because I think it's an amazing thing, and I would never want it to stop just because someone graduated. So I am still going through all my clinicals, and I go in thinking I like one patient population, and I end up loving another, and thinking every week I find something else I want to do with my career. And so I definitely am excited to go to different places in Lincoln and Omaha and explore those as well. But as of right now, I have no idea, but I want to see definitely all ages. I love pediatrics, I love adults, so I definitely want to work somewhere where I wouldn't just see one population every day. I would want to see the whole gamut. So I used to be very adamant about not going back to Wyoming. I didn't like growing up there at all. But since living in Colorado and kind of a bigger city, I definitely grew to love that small town and agricultural, which this reminds me a lot of in Nebraska. So I kind of feel a little bit at home here sometimes, but I definitely want to give back to that community because healthcare out there is not very accessible. I know that in the entire state, there's one singular pediatric audiologist. And so the entire state has to either travel to see this audiologist, or she has to go out and see them. And so I was against it at first, but I can very much see myself going back there and giving back to the community that helped to get me to where I am right now. So.